Hey, what's going on, Metroplex? It's episode 5 of the Dallas Sports Podcast. I'm Jeff.
I'm Nope.
We are your two hosts, your co-hosts. We want to thank everybody for tuning in for another episode. If you've been here from episode 1, if you're here from episode, no matter what episode you tuned in from, we just want to thank y'all for supporting and listening to us and just supporting the page and supporting the channel.
Like bro said, man, we appreciate each and every one of y'all for checking out the podcast, liking the videos, dropping your comments and your opinions in the comment section, man. Please continue to do that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop your opinions in the comment section, and we finna go ahead and get episode 5 rocking, man. What we got?
First thing we want to talk about, of course, the NBA released their schedule a couple nights ago. You got opening night, you got the Lakers and the Nuggets. Yeah. Then you got the Suns versus the Warriors, man. Who do you like in those games, man?
The interesting game to me is gonna be Suns and Warriors, because not only is that a good matchup, but on the other side, you got Chris Paul going against his old team. And then, that's one thing a lot of people want to see. That's going to be a good matchup. Bradley Beal going up against CP3.
Right.
Seeing what CP3 can bring to this Warriors offense. I think he's going to be Draymond on crack. As far as distributing the ball, like that's on paper, that shit is scary.
It is,
especially if with Steph, because Steph's running the 2.
But that's what I'm saying. So are they going to have him out there facilitating?
The projected starting lineup is Chris Paul at the 1, Steph at the 2, Clay at the 3, Wiggins at the 4, Draymond at the 5.
Ooh.
That is a scary ass.
That is a good line.
That's a scary small lineup, bro. That is a scary small lineup.
Do you think Chris Paul can last starting through the season? Because, the last few years, he's really been on fumes once they get to the playoffs.
Chris Paul's biggest hindrance is that hamstring of his. That hamstring get him every year pretty much.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So, you think they are going to start him, or do you think they will have him like in a role where he comes off the bench and keep the offense flowing? Because just with Steph, Clay, and Wiggins on the floor by themselves generate enough offense. And then you have other guys you can set up like Kuminga off the bench and things like that, setting the table for guys like that they can play with a real point guard and teach them, parts of the game that they may not have.
In my opinion, I think they're gonna start Chris Paul just for the simple fact that not only with his passing, he's still a scoring threat. Chris Paul can still give you 20 easy, and especially if he starts the season off kind of rolling with the ball rolling and he's scoring really good, it's gonna open it up even more for Steph, Clay, Wiggins. Yeah, I think they're gonna try to start him most of the year, barring any injuries or anything like that. I like that lineup, man. I like that lineup more than Bradley Beal running point for Phoenix.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I like that way more just because. And then it might be Chris Paul time to finally get a ring, bro.
It might be, but see, that's what I'm saying. You play the long game.
I definitely think it's gonna be some low management, right? Especially towards like the mid-season. Yeah, probably they probably gonna start it probably a little bit before the mid-season tournament starts to kick off.
Right.
They gonna probably start low managing him a little bit more just to make sure that he makes it to the playoffs.
Right.
Healthy.
And when you get into the playoffs, you change lineups according to
the matchups.
Yeah. So you have him out there, and if he coming off the bench, he's gonna be like fresh. He's gonna be like real fresh coming off the bench. If you load, do load management throughout the season using him.
Yeah.
And then the only time you change the lineup and put him in the starting lineup, in my eyes, would be the tournament. Would be the tournament games. And change the lineups like that. Because those games have significant importance.
I think they're gonna start them more though, especially at the beginning of the season, just to see how everybody flows together. Right. You know what I'm saying? Get their actual chemistry together. And once Chris Paul figures out where people are and where they're supposed to be and everything, it's gonna be tough to beat them, bro.
No, facts.
It's gonna be tough to beat them, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very difficult to beat them. You got a guy like that facilitating, and then you got another guy facilitating in Draymond.
Yeah, that's a 2-headed point guard monster.
It's definitely gonna be tough. You got the Lakers versus the Nuggets.
That's another good one.
Still a pretty good matchup. You got a guy who, he's nothing but a winner now. We seen him overseas winning championships, raising his horses in Jokic. Probably better teammate chemistry, even more than it already was last year. They have the same team returning. So I think that'll definitely be a good matchup, but definitely not as intriguing as the Suns and the Warriors.
I see the numbers on that game gonna be through the roof.
Oh, most definitely. I think it's probably going to be maybe plus 115, 120.
Yeah.
For each team. Because it's going to be so much firepower, so much offense.
It's definitely going to be
plus 240.
I was going to say over and under going to be, about 240, 250.
Easy. And that's opening night.
Yeah.
People probably not going to be playing defense like that. Yeah, so it's definitely gonna be a great opening night matchup. Next we got the Christmas Day games. We got a full slate of Christmas Day games, man.
Christmas lit this year.
Yeah, Christmas is too lit this year. They actually gave us a full day of games. Starting at noon, you got the Bucks and the Knicks. Gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah.
2:30, you got the Warriors and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, you got the Celtics and the Lakers. 8 p.m., you got the 76ers versus the Heat. We're not going to know what's going to go on with James Harden or if Dame is going to be there. So hopefully, at least Dame will be in Miami by then. So we can see that. That'll be a good Christmas Day present for us. And then we set it off and you finish it off 10:30 with the Mavericks and the Suns. Yeah, so
that's a nice little slate of games for Christmas.
Yeah, so they blessed our city. So they blessed our city on Christmas Day, man. Got the grand finale, Luka and the Suns going against the Suns, man. So yeah, we definitely got a good Christmas Day. So circle that on your calendar. You probably already got it circled, but now you got a even better reason to circle the date. So just go check those out and. That'll definitely be a lit day. Yeah. Moving on, we're staying with basketball. Team USA went ahead and moved up to 4-0. They had 3 games this past week. They had Slovenia without Luka. Luka sat out as a precaution, bumped knees versus Spain. So I think that's probably best for him. And considering the fact that he's for the Mavericks, you want him to probably sit out anyway. You want him to sit out anyway and not take any chances on that. Defeated Spain. Those guys have been out there hooping. And like you said, it's according to who's on that night. We've had Brunson leading. We've had Edwards leading in scoring. And it's been a very good show of team basketball, man.
I'll admit right now that I was wrong on my initial look or my initial view on how the team looked, because every player on that team, they mesh so well together. It's like a pot of gumbo. And each player on Team USA is like an ingredient that goes into the gumbo that just makes it delicious.
Nah, facts.
They mesh so well together that I believe now they can make a run for the gold, a legitimate run for the gold.
And they're getting tested by their opponents.
Yeah.
I think Slovenia, just because Luka wasn't out there, that it was a blowout game.
I memean, only the next dude up was Goran Dragic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
yeah. So we pretty much knew without Luka, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Tough on their whole team. But Spain, it was 98-88. Gave them a run for that.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Playing physical. You had Greece. Wasn't really close. It was 11 points at halftime.
Then they didn't have Giannis too at the same time.
Exactly, and they didn't have Giannis. But you have other teams like Canada and Germany that are really talented.
Yeah.
I think Germany, according to who they play, they give you a fight.
Yeah.
But Canada definitely has the star power to keep up with the USA. But I think on the Team USA, the team is a lot. Everybody's willing to play a role.
Yeah.
Rather than trying.
They've all bought in. You can tell they've all bought into their roles.
Right. And then
and they're actually playing good team basketball.
Yeah, and so what these games did, they're 4-0, and what these games did is just give them a sense of who needs to be where.
Yeah.
Because I think Paolo is willing, as talented as he is, willing to come off the bench.
Yeah.
So that's
because he can still come out the bench and give you 20 and 10.
Easy.
You know, so
and you got the right coaches that are gonna put you in the right positions and great at figuring out lineups. So
Steve Kerr deserves a lot more credit for what he's doing with Team USA right now.
Oh, most definitely.
He deserves a lot. You know, a lot of people they try to not give him his full credit just because he has Steph, Clay, Draymond, all them out there, but you give him a team of superstars and you see what he's been able to do so far. I give Steve Kerr his kudos.
Facts. Another one is Mike.
Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra.
Which we already know he's a top tier coach.
Right.
We already know that.
We've heard this story 1,000 times. How he worked his way up from the video coordinator role. And being video coordinator, you see a lot of film.
Yep.
And a lot of people think basketball is you go out there and you play, and these guys actually have a playbook just like the NFL, man.
Yeah, they watch hours of film. They learn dudes' tendencies and everything. That's why you got to study to be good.
Right. And I think it takes some kind of studying to know that Jaylen Brown left hand is weak. So Jaylen, if you out there, $300 million. Listen, man, you got to get it together with that.
Do some left hand drills, brother.
You go out there with Kyrie.
Do some left hand drills
because he's ambidextrous. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how you can really fix that besides doing drills, man.
You would think you would have. That's something you learn AAU, middle school basketball.
But
work on your left.
I wouldn't even say AAU anymore. AAU has really just been, I ain't gonna say a joke, but you have your star players who outside AAU work on their game, and I believe they had an attitude. But I believe AAU now is more about the highlight reel, and not really being fundamental. But he's been the type of player, if you that good and you can only go to the right hand, it's crazy. It's crazy. So he's
bad.
But you can compensate for it. That shows you how he compensates.
He adapts pretty well. It's just he could. The man would be unstoppable if he had a left hand.
Facts.
He would be He would be unstoppable off the dribble.
Facts.
If he had a left hand.
Yeah, he would. Most definitely, man. I think he just. I think that's just what he needs to work on, man.
Yeah,
his left hand, dude.
In a general sense, Team USA, they got a legitimate shot at the gold, though, in my opinion. I think they can definitely bring it home. So.
Most definitely. You had a couple withdrawals from the World Championship. You had Jamal Murray withdrawing from Canada. So he's resting from the playoff run.
Yeah, you already know he's trying to get himself back in the he's trying to get back in the they trying to repeat. The Nuggets trying to repeat this season. So
I think he's in a lab somewhere with Jokic right now.
Yeah,
Jokic
definitely.
Basically the whole squad.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. They trying to repeat. They got a legitimate chance to repeat.
Oh, most definitely.
Legitimate chance to repeat.
You got Kristaps Porzingis out with plantar fasciitis, I believe it is.
That ain't good for the Celtics. And I believe he's had that same injury a couple times in his career so far.
Yeah, that's something that it flares up. It's one of those things, almost like tendonitis.
Yeah,
it's going to linger.
Yeah.
But being 7'3", you're more prone to it being in your feet, and he's always had foot problems.
Yeah.
So it's the crazy part. If you really call him a unicorn like that, you wouldn't trade him as often as he's been traded.
Facts.
Yeah, because I couldn't believe the Knicks gave him up. Then when he got to Dallas, you're like, okay, now I see why the Knicks gave him up.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Get rid of him. We tried that. We tried that one that season and a half with Luka, and it wasn't working.
It didn't work, man.
It wasn't working.
Yeah, because it doesn't work when you're 7'3" and you pop damn near every time on a pick and roll.
Yeah,
you pop instead of roll, man.
Yeah.
So you a big guy that can shoot, but that should be a luxury. That should be like
you should live and die in the post.
Right. It should be.
You're 7'3". You're 7'2". Nobody can block your shot.
Right.
Live and die in the post.
Right.
What did Yao Ming do? Yao Ming wasn't shooting 5-6 threes a game, which and even though he was not a consistent 3-point shooter, he could still make them.
Yeah.
But he lived and died in the paint. Because that's his bread and butter. So
Yao was. I don't think people know how big Yao was
and how strong Yao was.
Because Yao was. He wasn't just. He looked lanky because he was so tall, but Yao was around 280 pounds.
Yeah, Yao was out there banging with Shaq.
Yes,
Yao was banging with Shaq
and giving him trouble.
Yeah, Yao was banging with Shaq.
I think he's the only person I've ever seen give Shaq trouble.
Yeah,
the only person.
Just because he was strong enough to do it.
Exactly. He was strong enough to block his shot.
Yeah, he could. Cause Shaq couldn't really just bully Yao Ming like he wanted to. Because Yao Ming was solid. You know what I'm saying? So
you got Porzingis, man. He wants to stay out on the perimeter too much, man. And you just because you have a shot, that's what I'm saying. It should be a luxury. It should be like.
And then, in my opinion, his shots are not consistent enough for him to live out there. Don't get me wrong. He got a shot.
Yeah.
It's just not consistent enough for you to live out there as much as you do.
Right.
Like mix it up.
Right.
Get in the paint. And then once they start, trying to, and if you're successful in the paint, they're gonna double you. They're gonna double you because they have to stop you if you're just busting their ass in the paint. That's when you go outside and start turning them up from out there.
Right.
It's like he got a 1-track mind.
Threes.
Yeah, threes and long middies. Threes and long middies.
Yeah, man. Because I saw.
And not even post middies, just long. Straight up standing jump shot middies. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, man. He doesn't.
Get in the paint.
Yeah. And it's so frustrating. And that's why he's in Washington right now. Well, not in Washington right now. He's actually on the Celtics right now.
But that's why he was in Washington. Yeah. Washington is basically the dump-off team in the NBA right now. That's why Jordan Poole over there. You know what I'm saying? Washington is the dump-off team. That's why Kyle Kuzma over there. Even though Kyle Kuzma's still nice. Yeah. Just as much as Jordan Poole is nice. But that's just the dump-off team, you know?
Hell yeah.
You dump your players off over there to get some good draft picks.
Good draft picks and all that. Yep. All that cap space.
Mm-hmm.
All that cap space is free. Yeah, because Jordan Poole, man, I don't know if he was really talking shit to Draymond the way that sources say he was. But it kind of makes sense. That's why he's in Washington right now. Because you just don't give up a score of that magnitude if some of that wasn't true. And Draymond is back and he's not. So
that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, that speaks volumes to that. Yeah, man. Porzingis is, man, unfortunate, but he'll probably be ready for the season. And with so much talent, as much talent they have in Boston, he has time. He has time to get healthy.
I mean, I feel like long as he stays healthy throughout the season, the Celtics are gonna be right back where they were, pretty much. I'm sure Giannis is gonna have something to say about that as far as them getting back to the finals. But in my opinion, Celtics, especially with adding Porzingis, they've just punched their ticket right back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
It's basically going to be the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Heat.
Right.
Especially the Heat if they get Dame.
Right.
Especially the Heat if they get Dame.
Most definitely. That's why I need to go ahead and hurry up and get that deal done, man. We definitely want to see him over there in a winning situation.
Yeah.
So next, how do you feel about James Harden calling out Daryl Morey for being a liar, man? At this point, it's he said the relationship you can't salvage it. That's what he said up until this point, man. And he made it a point to do it publicly.
And the crazy part about that is no. What is Daryl Morey, GM?
Yeah.
No GM has vouched more for James Harden than Daryl Morey. That's the crazy part about it that I can't really wrap my mind around. I'm like, nobody's gone to bat for you as much as him.
But you have to look at it in a business sense, because if you bring James Harden, other things come with James Harden along with your bag.
That's true.
So if this happens now, it's almost like you thought you were friends.
Yeah. And then he hit you with the business side of it kicks in, and you really see you see the big picture.
Now you see the truth now.
Yeah.
You see the truth now. On if you're not benefiting me, or you're not filling my pockets, or doing what I want you to do, he's not gonna.
He's gonna wash his hands with you.
He's gonna wash his hands with
and
you.
That's business though. At the same time, and at the same time, I feel like James has kind of brought that upon himself, just with how he carries himself, one with all the all the partying and everything else he does at the studio with Lil Baby and all that, Fashion Week in Paris. Like, come on, bro. You need to be working out, bro. You need to be working on your game.
And the crazy part, I've never seen anyone put on a fat suit to get out of a spot, man. Like in Houston. And then once he got to Brooklyn, it's like he slimmed back up again. Yeah. It was crazy. It was so crazy, man. I've never seen anybody do that. But I would say Dame probably need to take somebody was like, he need to take a page out of Harden's book. Yeah. Because he's been moved so many times. It's crazy for a player of James' caliber to keep moving like that. But like you said, it goes back to the off the court aspect of things.
Yeah, and the work ethic. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I think I think we're seeing toward the tail end of James Harden's basketball career, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see him being in the NBA too many more years. Yeah, I think we're on the tail end. We've definitely already been on the tail end of his prime. He's older and everything, and we've all seen the decline and everything, especially with playing with Embiid and having to switch up his playing style and everything. I think we're on the tail end of James Harden's career, definitely, in my opinion.
And the thing about James is he's such a talented scorer. He can give you 20 and 10 easy.
He can still give you 40 when he wants to. It's just when he wants to. Like it's
he's
crazy. Still a 40. He's still a 40 piece easy. You still can't really stop James Harden when he sets his mind to, I'm about to score.
Right.
You can't stop him. Playing with Embiid they've implanted in his mind a more passive play style to where I think in a sense he's kind of doubting himself a little bit, but he still kind of knows in the back of his mind, like, I'm still James Harden. I can still give you 40, but it's like people. I think he thinks like people are gonna bash him for trying to do that when he has Embiid. He's playing with Embiid.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope, man.
It is. But one thing I believe playing with Embiid will do is extend his career if he's still in the league. In a couple of years, because he won't be going to the hole. It almost will be like a Chris Paul situation where you just out there facilitating. That's all we need you for. So you have
but even at the same time with that, like I think this was one of the seasons where James Harden had close to the most turnovers in a season in his career. He had a lot of turnovers last season.
But I'm telling you, he had a lot. I'm telling you, it's not nearly as much as it was in Houston.
It's not just because he had the ball in his hand a lot more, and he was dependent on a lot more to score. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I feel like it's more people know what you're gonna do. You're going to run a pick and roll, and you're going to give it to Joel and let Joel do what he do.
You're going to give him that pocket pass.
Yeah, so people looking for that. They already looking for that because they know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
That's why I say he gotta be more of himself and learn
and the pass
to take either pass off of that or just take it yourself.
Right. Because you still, dude,
he's still James Harden.
Yeah, you can still. That's what I'm saying. 21. He was first in assists last year.
Yeah, no. I think Trey was first. I think he was like second.
He was first.
James Harden was first.
James Harden first.
Yeah,
10.7. But I know Trey was right there behind.
Yeah, Trey was second.
Trey was probably
sure.
0.2.
I think Trey was second and Halliburton was third. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
But James has ever since taking over, he's been taking over as far as being a superstar after leaving OKC, he's been around 4 or 5 turnovers, and the last 2 years he's been at 3.5? Yeah, 3.5. So that's
and that's just because he has the ball in his hand more, So
right. So I think he'll probably be definitely out of the league if he doesn't
balance his game more.
Right, balance his game more. And like I said earlier, we've seen some talented guys. You can't just go out talent anymore because you got talented guys like Boogie overseas playing ball when he deserves to be on the NBA roster.
True.
But sometimes it's your
Dwight Howard.
Sometimes it's your attitude and and everything that comes with you.
True.
And I think Boogie gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
Because his younger days, when he was a young star.
He was the bully.
He was a bully.
He was the bully.
And so I think his attitude was, it was that of a bully. And
and being kind of hard to work with.
Attitude problem. So I think that kind of hurt him. But then you don't give a person a chance to grow. And his game is still top tier. But they were like, 5 years ago you had a bad attitude problem. So we can't do nothing with you, man. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Or you give him a 10-day.
And that's kind of where James Harden is at this point in his career. It's like he's
headed there.
Yeah, he's on his way to it,
But all these guys have won that life. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, man.
He don't care.
Probably got $100 million in the bank right now. Not tripping about nothing.
Boy, what? He gonna blame him. I can go buy me a championship ring,
right? For 20 bands. For 20 bands.
More than that, I can go get $1 million ring, nigga. I can go get $1 million ring, and then I can put them all 4 fingers. Stop playing. You can do all of that, man. So, I would love to see him in a better situation because, Philadelphia, they fans are probably gonna crucify him.
Oh, they already been crucifying him.
Yeah, so I think that's why he kind of wants out too. Once you get to Philly, it's a different monster with them fans in Philly, man.
I mean, at this point in his career, I don't really see anywhere where he could really just go and just make a significant impact. Maybe the Clippers, but at the same time, it'll pretty much just be him and Paul George because you can't really count on Kawhi to be consistent and be healthy, So
I think that's what he said.
That's where he wants to go. Yeah, that's where he wants to go. Yeah.
But they didn't make the same mistake Dame did and exclusively want to go there.
Yeah,
they just put them at the top of his list.
Yeah, it was the Clippers, Houston, and another team. I can't remember who the third team was.
Right now, I wouldn't want to see him go back.
Hell
to Houston.
No. If I'm anybody in Houston, if I'm Jalen Green, hell no.
Jalen Green,
because that's gonna hinder. That's gonna hinder their younger players' growth.
Right.
That's gonna hinder the younger players' growth. That if I'm the Houston GM, Daryl Morey calling me with that, hell no. No, I'm good. We good over here, bro.
Facts.
We good over here, bro.
Facts, man.
Send them to the Clippers. We good over here.
They got too much talent, and I think the Clippers. I think it would be the best fit right now.
That's probably the best fit
because you have around that same age superstars and Kawhi and Paul George
and Westbrook
and you got Westbrook coming off the bench. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love that, but I believe they need a big man.
Yeah.
I think they need a big man. We just talked about Dwight Howard and Big Boogie out there. I would like to see Boogie get a contract with the Clippers because he paid for him last year for a little while. But I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if they blackballing or what with that.
Ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling.
All right, we're gonna move on to baseball. Actually, the Rangers are still sitting at the top of the AL West right now. Currently second overall in the American League. They beat the Angels twice before losing to them. But Scherzer and Montgomery, the two pitchers they picked up before the trade deadline, both got the dubs in the series. Matt Scherzer pitched a gem. Had a season high 11 strikeouts. 7 innings pitched, only 1 hit, only 1 walk, and they won 12-0.
Yeah, it's good as hell.
Yeah, hell yeah. And Adolis Garcia's hit his 30th home run of the season. Jordan Montgomery, the other pitcher they traded for, he pretty good as well. Only 1 earned run in the win. 6 innings pitched. Allowed 6 hits, but had 9 strikeouts as well. So those guys are coming along. And then you got Corey Seager, continuing to have a beast of a season. Yeah. He homered twice in the win Jordan Montgomery started. Still batting .350, which is crazy. Yeah. Crazy right now. He's got 22 home runs, 73 RBIs on the season. So he's a consistent hitter as they come. Already a champion, with St. Louis. So he brings that pedigree and that understanding of, I think, the mentality of getting ready to close out a season and be ready for the postseason and what to expect from the postseason and how to calm your nerves in the postseason and things like that. So those are basically been them this past week.
Rangers are still looking good, man. We are primed for a pretty deep postseason run long as we keep up the consistency. The pitchers keep up the consistency. Our run support continues to come through like they have. We're primed for a nice playoff run, man. So
and here's what I also didn't know. Their starters, the Rangers starters, they actually lead the MLB in ERA.
Yeah.
3.66 is the ERA, and that's less than 4 runs a game.
Yeah.
You're going to win a lot of games.
Especially with the run support that we got. Yeah.
Right. Power, and then they have they can hit for power, they can hit for contact.
Yeah.
So, they up and down, they have a total team. It's just when they run into other teams, we'll see if the Baltimore Orioles can keep winning. Right now, they're at the top of the AL East.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're the first in the whole American League right now.
Yeah.
But one thing with Baltimore, they haven't been there before.
True.
They were written off how many times. They've had how many 80, 90, 100 lost seasons.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can hold on to it and close it out.
That also makes them dangerous too, though.
It does, but at the same time,
they just don't have the experience. Yeah,
exactly. So,
but at the same time, that does make them hungry too. At the same time, because they haven't been there.
Right,
they haven't been there.
Right. So, usually when there's a changing of the culture or a changing, a big time change like that, where you go from worst to best. Basically, you set the bar at not a championship. We don't expect a championship.
Just a pretty deep playoff run.
Right.
Same thing with the Astros a couple years ago when they made it to the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with that.
Right. Nah, facts.
Same thing with that.
Yeah. So I think that'll be a more gradual incline for them. Yeah. They're going to keep climbing after this season. Yeah. But right now, like you said, the experience, we'll see if they can hold it out throughout the end of the season because they've been playing some great baseball too. Yeah. So we'll see if they can keep it up throughout the whole season and then actually finish it off and go and stay on that run. Yeah. And a more experienced team like the Rangers will beat a team like the Orioles.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Will beat a team like the Orioles.
Definitely. We got people that been there before.
Exactly. You know? And then you got your ace, you got your rotations, and like I said, the run support, batting contact and power. So yeah, I believe they have one of the best teams. The only part I believe they're gonna have problems with is if they get all the way to the World Series. Those NL teams are more focused on the pitching aspect. Yeah. Even though they can hit too. Definitely. Yeah. They definitely have like a team like the LA Dodgers. Yeah. Just bullpen is stacked. Yeah. Rotation stacked. Facts. And you got Kershaw, Dustin May. They're just a couple aces. So they're definitely stacked. So those type of teams are gonna give the Rangers trouble when you can't score. Can your pitching keep up and keep us from not scoring? True. So I think that'll probably be the biggest hurdle for that them to get over in that one. We're gonna go ahead and stay right in the Metroplex. We're gonna go from the Rangers and we're gonna talk about these Dallas Cowboys, man. In the training camp. Matter of fact, first things first, we had a couple of signings in the NFL, not just Dallas. Yeah. You got Dalvin Cook signing with the Jets.
Jadeveon Clowney
signing with Baltimore.
That is a good pickup.
That's definitely a good pickup.
Good pickup.
I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did on the market.
Too, yeah.
I don't understand what's going on with these guys. Like they can't play or they don't have the resume that they do. I think
it was more on the money side. I think they were trying to get the money right.
Right.
Boys, the Dallas, one of the Dallas OGs, Mr. Zeke, getting picked up by the New England Patriots.
Yes. So happy to see him go to a team that actually is going to run the ball. Yeah. And he's going to get carries along with Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah. So.
He got quite a bag too, just for 1 year.
Oh yeah, $6 million. Yeah, most definitely. I'd definitely take that for a year. Stop playing. Man. Stop playing. He got that, and then I think they're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. Yeah. So I think that'll be good for him. And he may go 1 year to 1 year now in terms of contracts. Yeah. So if he runs the ball well and they see
it's Belichick, so they're gonna run the ball a lot anyway.
Exactly. Because right now I still think Mac Jones is overrated in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Rookie from last year should be the starter in my opinion.
Oh, Zappy?
Yeah, he came in and made an impact, man, and
then it's when you see the offense just start to move when he comes in, that lets you know, okay, even though it may not look as pretty as Mac Jones, they might not have a tight spiral like Mac Jones, because there were some spots where Zappy struggled. Yeah.
And but he's a rookie and he's learning. He's still learning. Right. So.
And it was one game he actually Mac Jones got hurt and was out a couple of games, and then Zappy. Matter of fact, he came back. Mac Jones came back.
And they still went with Zappy.
He threw a pick, one pick,
took him right back out the
game. And Zappy came in, and even the New England fans were cheering, Zappy. I'm like, okay, yeah, they love Zappy.
He has a lot more upside, than Jones at this point to me.
Yeah, to me too. Me too. And I think when you spend a high draft pick on a quarterback like New England did, they don't want to admit the fact that, okay, this fourth round guy is actually better than this first round guy.
Facts.
And then if you start Zappy, people are going to be like, hey, well, why did you draft somebody else in the first round then? So,
I mean, I'm sure if they could predict the future, they would have, know. So, I mean, but it is what it is, It's,
Exactly.
First round picks don't always pan out like they're expected to. So,
facts.
That's just the game. That's just the game of sports, in general. So, I mean,
and then a certain situation may not be great for a certain player.
Yeah.
Like, you see Anthony Richardson with the Colts was named the starter.
Yeah.
And he only has 1 year of experience in college.
Yep.
Starting.
Yep.
So you threw him right to the wolves, man.
I mean, yeah.
Throw him right to the wolves. Even though he's physically gifted. We all know that. But it's the intangibles for the quarterback. You need intangibles and things like that. So,
and at the same time, you know, in some cases, it's better to throw them out there to the wolves early so they can learn faster. You know,
yeah,
it's a whole different monster when you're out there learning and making the mistakes and seeing what you're doing wrong versus being second string on the bench and watching everything unfold from there. It's a whole different monster. So I think it's, you know,
I think in order to throw them to the wolves, it goes back to the college experience. Like, you have those quarterbacks who got thrown to the wolves, like Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at these guys, they got a resume in college.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe Burrow, all the guys who start day one starters.
Yeah, that's true.
Got a college, and then he wasn't the most efficient passer. So that's, he's physically gifted. To me, the first year you have to run an offense that is going to use his physical gifts. And
which is going to be more of a run-heavy offense.
Right.
Which will be 10 times better if they can repair that relationship with your boy.
Right.
You know, which I don't it might be past that at this point, you know, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Just know it's looking kind of shaky in Indianapolis right now, man.
Oh, most definitely. So I just think with 1 year of college, it is good for him to get some experience. But I think if everything is moving too fast for him, I'll give him like 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Before I would start.
Give him a chance to go out there
and learn.
Learn and make mistakes. Mm-hmm. And at that point, if he doesn't learn from those mistakes, then yeah, you pull him.
Right.
You pull him,
and then let him taking too many shots, or get hit too bad, and things like that.
Yeah,
I would definitely understand that, but I would like to see him succeed, most definitely.
Yeah,
but like I said, it goes back to, like you said, Jonathan Taylor being back there in the backfield with him. It definitely helps a young quarterback when you have a successful running game.
If they can't repair that if they can't repair that relationship, man.
Or go get it. I mean, it's still running backs out here.
It is.
I know Kareem Hunt is still out here.
It is, though.
Yeah, they have to bust a move. They're going to have to bust a move on a running back sooner or later.
Yeah.
So, moving on to another signing, moving back to the Metroplex, Zach Martin. They finally reached a deal.
Secured his bag.
Finally got 2 years, $36 million, fully guaranteed, I might add.
Yep.
So, he's back at camp, so we can exhale, Dallas.
Yep. Dak especially can exhale.
Nah, for real.
Because he's not going to be running for his life
every play. And I think the offense is going to be set up to where he's actually going to have more than one primary receiver.
Hopefully with Mike McCartney out there, calling the shots now. So,
right. Yeah. And one interesting fact I didn't know about Zach Martin, he has more All-Pro. He's on more All-Pro teams than he does have holding penalties.
Yeah,
that's a crazy ass stat. That's a crazy stat for a guard. You know how many elite defensive tackles? I would have probably had 5 on Aaron Donald in one game.
Yeah.
I know I held his ass. Yeah. Just put his ass right onto the ground.
Yep.
Then you got Fletcher Cox you facing 2 times a year.
Yep.
And now you got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter in Philly you facing 2 times a year.
And then you have to have it. And then you got that line over there in Washington too.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan Allen right in the middle. You got Chase Young off the edge. You got Sweat off the edge.
Yeah.
Yes. You needed him. I'm glad you did. And one thing I think contributed to that is a versatile offensive lineman. He's interchangeable.
Yeah. He can run block. He can pass block.
Yeah.
He can go out and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, move. Mm-hmm. So he's very versatile.
Hell yeah. And one thing I think that contributed to the deal is one of the offensive linemen that they signed at a free agency this offseason, Chuma Edoga, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He actually hyperextended his knee.
Oh, okay.
And they had to cart him off earlier this week. Later last week. Yeah. And literally 2 days later, they had a deal for Zach Martin.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah,
they start sweating after that one. It's like, yeah, we got to go ahead and get this deal done.
Like I said, because he's versatile like Zach Martin. Of course, not his caliber, but he can move from the guard. But he can also be a tackle.
Yeah.
Which is not easy. Yeah. When you have to be versatile.
Especially when you got to pull and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So he can pull as a guard, but then he could work on the edge a little bit. Yeah. So he got hurt, and I think that's probably was the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
To get the Zach Martin deal done. But then also, it wasn't a catastrophic injury.
Yeah, so he'll definitely be back. Yeah, and the line will be much stronger with him in it as well, with Zach Martin.
Yeah, and depth.
Yeah.
And depth. So glad that finally got solved.
Yeah.
Zach Martin got your all-pro guard. So I think, you have a legitimate title run.
Facts.
On the table now. Because you got to have him. Another offensive lineman we need to talk about. Tyler, I have no idea. I always mess this guy's last name up. He's our starting center. Biadasz. Him and Sam Williams got into it. Me personally, I don't like the blind sighting Sam. Sam got frustrated with a rep with another lineman.
Yeah.
Started a little shoving match. Sam ran up on him like he wanted to do something. But before he even got there, I mean, Tyler just came and blindsided him, man.
Yeah.
You have to have awareness that that's your teammate.
Yeah.
That's your teammate.
We all understand that it's training camp.
Fight's gonna
happen. Temper's gonna flare. But at the same time, it's your brother. It's supposed to be your brother. That's your teammate.
And then both of you are guys that already solidified your spots on the 53-man roster.
Yep.
You're out there as getting your workout, but you're out there as a formality, basically.
Yeah.
And the last day of training camp in Oxnard, you blindside them.
Yeah, that ain't a good look, man.
It's not a good look. So you have to have more awareness than that. If me personally, I'm sorry, bro. You got to take your cleats off. You got to take your helmet off. Go ahead. You're going to have to leave. You got to go, bro. You got to go. You going to blindside Sam like that? Nah. Yeah. We not going to have that. And then you 300 pounds, blindside? No, we're not going to have that.
Yeah. We're not it's like getting hit by a car when you ain't paying attention.
Yeah, right. So yeah, man, you gotta have more awareness, man. You don't get into it. And then he frustrated with the rep. That's something internally with him. He was frustrated with the rep. And then the offensive lineman still pushing him. Frustrated you lost the rep, and he's still pushing me. He gonna push back.
Yeah.
So, and then what I love is Micah Parsons got a lick back in on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Micah Parsons. Now, we got to watch Micah Parsons, man. You can't be swinging at guys with helmets on because you hit him in the helmet.
Yeah.
But a week ago, they have a drill where they put on a boxing glove and try to punch the ball out.
Yeah.
You hurt your wrist on that.
Yeah.
So we don't need you swinging, hitting nobody in the helmet, G.
We don't need Micah doing no extra shit.
No extra shit.
No extra shit.
But I do like in that after Parsons punched him, after he punched Tyler back in the helmet, Sam Williams came out of nowhere and got a lick back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere and knocked his ass down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, that's just that, preseason training camp intensity, but yeah, just They got to remember that they're all on the same team,
Right.
I can understand if we was practicing against the Eagles or something. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. But
right.
Come on, man, we all on the same team, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't be out there going that hard on your teammates that. Man. I understand a lot of it might be ego. You know what I'm saying? Like
some of it testosterone.
Yeah, but you gotta know when to cut it off, man. Mm-hmm. We all on the same team at the end of the day.
Because that comes back to awareness as well. Let's say we in a situation in the regular season and you get in your feelings again and do some shit like that. Guess what? You cost us 15 yards.
Yep.
Cost us 15 yards, man. And then you gonna probably spark up another fight. So yeah, just more. I wish he would have been more aware. You coming to the aid of your fellow linemen. We understand.
Yeah, but which is what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, you got to remember that
300 pounds
on the other side of the ball, in training camp, that's your team too.
Right. Even though we going against each other.
Yeah, that's still your team.
It's we trying to make each other better. That's the whole thing. And we
trying to bring the best out of each other. You know what I'm saying?
And it's going to be some growing pains. And growing pains is frustrating.
Yep.
It's frustrating, man. You're going to lose some reps. You're going to win some reps. And, hey, it is what it is.
Move on from it. Move on, learn from it, get better.
Right. And we don't need no punching in the helmets and shit, man.
Yeah,
so
facts.
It's
that was a little over the top.
Over the top, bro. Like, yeah, Michael, you need to
chill out,
bro.
Chill out,
we
bro.
We don't need you losing time.
You are one of the leaders on this team, bro. We need you. Top 10,
100 players of this year, man. So we definitely need you out there. We don't need you breaking your hand, spraining your wrist, nothing like that.
Facts.
Nothing like that over on the last day of camp over bullshit. So yeah, it's definitely frustrating when you see things like that. But hopefully they get it together.
They definitely gonna get it together.
One last note, we're gonna go ahead and switch to a little sidebar with Terrence Crawford. Saying he'll fight Canelo. He want to move up.
he basically said that he wants the winner of the Canelo and Charlo fight, which is, being realistic, it's more likely going to be Canelo, but he's gonna have to move up almost a little more than 20 pounds than what he normally fights at. So I mean, in a boxing sense, in a money sense, that makes sense because that's his next big money fight. Like Terrence Crawford and Canelo, they might make well over $100 million a piece, because that's gonna be a big money fight, bro. That's gonna be the fight everybody wants to see, bro.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the next fight, the next big fight that everybody wants to see. And like I said, in a boxing sense, that makes the most sense for him.
Right.
As far as boxing and as far as his pockets.
And it's gonna be both of them are skilled. So skilled that it's gonna, it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
Regardless of moving weight, it's gonna be a good fight. And I think Terrence Crawford, when it goes back to in terms of skill, I think it'll be good to see him move up, but then adjust if his body's not the same.
Yeah.
If his body's not the same, just go ahead and adjust to it.
And like the point that I made to you when we was talking about it yesterday, I feel like if he were to take that fight and Canelo were to win, they're not really going to give Canelo his just due on that tip, just for the simple fact that the comparison that I made is going to be the same thing that if Tank comes up to fight him,
right,
they're going to say that just like what Terrence Crawford said in the interview, he's going to say Tank's too small. They're not going to give him his just due. Right. For that fight, and it's gonna be the same thing with Canelo. Right. They're not gonna give Canelo his just due because people are gonna say Terrence Crawford had to move up so much. They're gonna be saying Terrence Crawford's too small, regardless of his boxing IQ and everything. So that's a tough subject. Yeah, but it'll definitely be a good fight,
entertaining fight, and a money making fight.
Yeah, for both of them. So they gonna do numbers.
I would say more around the estimate of in totality, 150 to 200 million in terms of total revenue.
Yeah,
in terms of ticket sales and then pay per view. But I think their pockets probably be like 75 mil a piece.
Somewhere between 75 and like 90, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Both of them gonna get a stupid bag off of that.
Yeah.
And so I think once Terrence Crawford once he gets hit by Canelo, he's gonna change his game plan.
He gonna see.
I think he gonna change his game plan.
I was talking to my cousin the other day about it, man, and he basically said Canelo might end up doing Terrence Crawford like Terrence Crawford just did Errol.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be that.
Yeah. Because it's the same scenario all over again.
Yeah.
Same scenario moving up, and the power is completely different.
And it's like, and you got to think about it. Canelo's walk around weight is like 180, 185 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, Canelo's used to being up there,
And he's in his comfort zone.
Yeah. So that's... I don't know, that's a touchy one, but that's the fight that makes the most sense for Terrence Crawford coming up next.
Yeah.
And I don't want to not give Charlo his props, because Charlo's a real good fighter, and that's gonna be a good fight within itself, Charlo and Canelo. But I just don't think Charlo has enough to get out there and win against Canelo.
Right. Facts. And
then Terrence Crawford, he ain't really realistically, especially if I'm Terrence Crawford, in my mind, I'm 35 years old. I'm undisputed in what, three different belts, 4 different belts.
Yeah.
Realistically, I'm not taking too many more fights. So I'm at this point in my career, I'm gonna try to go for the fights that make the most sense, where I make the most money.
Right.
So in reality, if he takes that Canelo fight, I maybe see him 1 or 2 more fights after that, and then he might hang it up.
Then is it.
So.
Yeah. So he's talking about moving up to 168.
Yeah.
168 meeting Canelo.
Yeah.
At 168. So 168, and he normally fights he said he wouldn't go above 154, but obviously that's above 154.
I mean, in that case, he should have. If you think about it, he should have. I feel like if he wants to go up all the way up there to fight Canelo, he should have just met Spence at 154 then, and he would have had a totally different fight.
Right.
So like I said, it makes the most sense in a money situation, and as far as like boxing, moving up to the next biggest competitor,
right?
So
because I mean, like you said, going 20 pounds up from 147 to 168 is a completely different monster. Once you get hit, but then he has speed. And then once you get hit,
we've all seen Canelo, bro. Canelo,
boy, sharp.
That power is different, bro.
No, facts.
What is he? Super middleweight, or Canelo is that's a different monster, man.
I don't know, man. He's because what is cool? Hold on.
He's a middleweight. I think he's super middleweight.
Super middleweight.
Because he normally fights around like 168.
Yeah, super middleweight.
Yeah,
super middleweight.
Yeah.
And they were cruiser. I think that's what Crawford's class was cruiserweight.
Cruisers. I mean, no, Crawford's welter.
Yeah,
Crawford's welter.
Yeah.
But it was kind of on the borderline of there when he because it's kind of like a few pounds difference between welter and cruiser. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, that'll definitely be an interesting fight, man.
Definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, that's gonna do some numbers, man. That's gonna do some numbers, man.
Canelo and Charlo. I think it's gonna, like you said, gonna be this. I think it's gonna be the same situation as the more skilled boxer's gonna win.
Yeah, and in reality, I don't even think Canelo's gonna knock Charlo out. I think it's gonna go the distance, but in my opinion, I think it's gonna be unanimous Canelo's way.
Yeah. Undoubtedly, man.
Yeah.
So I think that might wrap it up for episode 5, man. I don't have anything left on the agenda.
Yeah, man. I think we touched on pretty much most of everything that has come across this past week in the sports world. Not a lot has happened really. We still got a lot of things up in limbo, especially as far as like free agents and trade moves and everything like that. So at this point, we're really just gearing up for the upcoming NFL season, man. And
right. And see how at 17 games we'll see who can stay healthy and see who hey man, and see who comes out on top. This year. Yeah,
man. It's gonna be an interesting NFL season this year, man.
It's most definitely gonna be an exciting season, both in the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost that time of the year where all the major sports are on at the same time.
Yep.
Then you got the Dallas Stars reloading up for their playoff run. So get a little bit into them when that time comes up, and we get into these months where it cools down because it's hot as hell outside right now.
Tell you, man.
So we'll definitely be ready for the Stars Definitely be ready for the Rangers playoff run in the fall.
Yep.
Definitely be ready for the Cowboys and actually see what we're actually really going to look like when the games actually matter.
Yep.
So we'll keep y'all updated on everything that's going on weekly like we normally do. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in, man.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all make sure to like I said, hit that subscribe button so you can stay in touch. We drop mostly short videos, YouTube short videos throughout the week, just to keep you tied over with something until the next episode. So make sure you guys tune in for those. Turn the post notifications on so you get the notification when we drop any new content. Smash that like button. Y'all been killing it with the likes and the subscribes, man. So just keep up the support, man. We appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all taking the time out to listen. And then also follow us on TikTok. Also follow us on IG.
Yes, sir. Links will be in the description.
Under the same name, Dallas Sports Podcast. So thank y'all again for just taking that time out to go ahead and give us a listen.
Yes, sir, man. We'll see y'all guys next week, man. Y'all have a good productive week. Stay safe out there. Everybody in Texas, man. Y'all stay cool.
Thanks.
And we'll catch you guys next week, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right, catch y'all next week.